The world more than 230 million years ago looked alien compared to today. A single supercontinent, Pangea, dominated the globe, ringed by a vast ocean called The climate swung between scorching deserts and humid river valleys after the planet had barely recovered from the worst mass extinction ever, the Permian-Triassic catastrophe around 252 million years ago that erased roughly 90 to 96% of marine species and 70% of land vertebrates. Forests were thin, dominated by conifers, ferns, cycads, and seed ferns. Large predators were mostly distant, crocodile-like archosaurs, and Rausuchians armored, sprawling reptiles that ruled the food chain. In this harsh recovery phase, a modest new group appeared. Small, lightweight reptiles called Dinosaurs began to walk upright on two legs with a more efficient posture than their sprawling relatives. Their bones were often hollow, reducing weight while maintaining strength, and their metabolism likely allowed greater activity levels. These early forms were no bigger than modern large dogs or turkeys, yet they possessed key advantages: agile bipedalism, grasping hands, and sharp teeth suited for catching insects, small vertebrates, or scavenging. The oldest well-accepted dinosaur fossils date to about 233 to 231 million years ago from the formation in northwestern Argentina and equivalent beds in southern Brazil. The raptor lunensis, roughly 1 meter long, had a slender build, serrated teeth, and flexible fingers, probably a generalist predator or omnivore. Slightly larger and more robust contemporaries included Herrerasaurus, Ischigualastanus, and Sanjoensaurus, both reaching 3 to 6 meters and showing stronger jaws and thicker limbs for tackling bigger prey. In Brazil, early sauropodomorphs, like Saturnalia tupaniquum, already displayed longer necks and smaller heads, hinting at the path toward massive planting. For the first 30 million years of their existence, dinosaurs remained relatively rare and small. They coexisted with dominant Rausuchians such as Pastasuchus, giant Pseudasuchians that looked like tanks with crocodile heads, and phytosaurs resembling long-snouted crocodiles but living mostly on land. Dinosaur footprints and scattered bones appear in late Triassic sediments across Pangea, from North America to Europe to India. They are never the most abundant large Everything changed around 201.3 million years ago with the Triassic-Jurassic extinction event. Massive volcanic eruptions along the rifting zone that would become the Atlantic Ocean, the Central Atlantic magmatic province, pumped enormous volumes of lava, sulfur, and carbon dioxide into the atmosphere over hundreds of thousands of years. Global temperatures rose sharply, oceans acidified, and many large-bodied reptiles could not cope. Rausuchians, phytosaurs, and most non-dinosaurian archosaurs disappeared almost entirely. Dinosaurs, already small, adaptable, and possibly possessing higher aerobic capacity, survived in greater numbers and quickly radiated into empty ecological niches. The Jurassic period 201-145 million years ago marks the true rise of dinosaur dominance. Pangea continued splitting, opening the Proto-Atlantic and creating more coastlines and wetter interiors. Vegetation became luscious cycads, ginkgos, conifers, and tree ferns formed dense forests and fern. Herbivorous dinosaurs exploited this abundance and grew to sizes never seen before in land animals. Sauropodomorphs, early prosauropods like Plateosaurus, gave rise to true sauropods. By the Middle Jurassic, forms like Pangea and Shunosaurus appeared with longer necks and tails. The late Jurassic saw the peak of sauropod gigantism. Diplodocus carnegie stretched up to 25 to 26 meters with a whip-like tail, possibly used for defense or communication. Apatosaurus, once called Brontosaurus and Barosaurus, shared similar floodplains in what is now the American West. Brachiosaurus, Altosaurus stood perhaps 12 to 16 meters tall at the shoulder thanks to longer forelimbs, allowing it to browse high conifer foliage like a giraffe on steroids. Estimates place some sauropods at 30 to 70 metric tons, equivalent to 10 to 12 modern African elephants stacked together. Their enormous guts likely house symbiotic microbes to ferment tough plant material, and their pillar-like legs distributed immense weight efficiently. Predators scaled up in response. Allosaurus fragilis, the most common large theropod in the Morrison Formation of North America, reached 8 to 12 meters and weighed 1.5 to 2.5 tons. Its skull featured powerful jaw muscles, serrated blade-like teeth, and a robust build for slashing bites rather than bone. Evidence from bite marks on sauropod bones suggests Allosaurus targeted young, sick, or isolated individuals, possibly hunting in loose groups. Ceratosaurus nasocornus, with its nasal horn, and Torvosaurus teneri, even bulkier, competed in the same ecosystems. Armored and plated herbivores defended themselves in creative ways. Stegosaurus stenops bore tall, alternating plates along its back, possibly for display, thermoregulation, or making the animal appear larger, and for sharp spikes on its tail, Thagomizer capable of inflicting lethal wounds. Kentrosaurus from Africa showed similar tail weaponry. Ankylosaurs, though more common later, began appearing with bony armor plates and clubs. Pterosaurs flying reptiles. Not dinosaurs diversified dramatically. Pterodactylus antiquus from Germany had wingspans of about 1 meter, while later forms reached 10 meters. Marine reptiles like ichthyosaurs, dolphin-shaped, and plesiosaurs, long-necked, filled ocean niches. The famous Archaeopteryx lithographica from the Solnhofen limestone of Germany dated to about 150 million years ago combined. Dinosaur features teeth, clawed fingers, long, bony tail with flight feathers and wings, marking one of the clearest transitional fossils between Ninavian dinosaurs and birds. By the Cretaceous period, 14566 million years ago, continents had drifted farther apart, isolating populations and driving rapid speciation. Flowering plants, angiosperms, exploded in diversity from about 130 to 100 million years ago, creating meadows, broadleaf forests, and new food sources rich in calories and nutrients. Herbivores adapted sophisticated chewing mechanisms. Hadrosaurians, duck-billed dinosaurs like Edmontosaurus. Parasaurolophus and Corythosaurus developed dental batteries with hundreds of tightly packed teeth for grinding fibrous plants. Their elaborate head, crest hollow in some species, likely amplified low frequency, calls for communication across forests or floodplains. Ceratopsians diversified into horned and frilled forms. Triceratops horridus, with 3 facial horns and a massive bony frill. Weighed up to 9 to 12 tons and likely charged rivals or predators like modern rhinos. Smaller ceratopsids like Protoceratops and Psittacosaurus showed evidence of parental care, with adults found guarding nests. Ankylosaurs became walking fortresses. Ankylosaurus magnaventris carried thick osteoderm armor and a heavy tail club capable of breaking predator bones. Nodosaurids lacked clubs, but had shoulder spikes for side defense. Theropods reached their most famous extremes. Tyrannosaurids evolved massive skulls and bone-crushing bites. Tyrannosaurus rex, living 68 to 66 million years ago in western North America, stood about 4 meters at the hip, stretched 12 to 13 meters long, and delivered bite forces estimated at 35,000 to 57,000 newtons, among the strongest of any land animal. Its 4 limbs, famously tiny, remain puzzling. They may have assisted in grasping mates or helping the animal rise from rescue. Feathered relatives, like Uteranus from China, show that even large tyrannosaurs likely had some plumage for insulation or display.